It's locked, all right.
I honestly don't think that's his fault. Like, what? I don't know how you blame yourself for that. Don't understand that, but
Good
okay.
evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
We need you to stay.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon.
Jesus.
Don't you see the futility of all this?
No wonder why they're dying. You're not doing anything to fucking stop it in the first place. Not wrong about that. And it will not save her, that's true. Karma's a bitch, by the way, so it won't save you. Who's the real you? Or put a price on hope. This is iffy. Wait. Okay, she beats me by 2 now. Great. Put a price on hope. That's very true, though.
You put a price on hope. This goes against everything you swore to uphold as a nurse.
Report me then, Dr. Reed.
I will.
Report the little nurse and keep on lying about the surgical errors, the wrong dosages and diagnostics that we all covered for the sake of our colleagues.
I mean, I'd rather do that than you to lie about everything else.
Whose idea was it?
Like,
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Or maybe you're doing that to protect him. It doesn't even matter at this point.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Let's move. I'm not gonna report, like...
Yes, Doctor?
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Where's the morgue?
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large
We already been
boarded-up
there.
building behind the hospital.
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Lack of sleep is dangerous.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
When do you sleep?
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
That's all for now. Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Nothing. Personal question, nothing. Okay.
Goodbye for now.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I'm quite busy, right?
I know that you're a busy man, but I could use your help and advice.
The great Dr. Reed honors me with a request. What is it exactly?
Dr. Strickland devised an experimental drug for the Spanish flu that he asked me to manufacture.
You know what I think of fringe medical experimentation.
That's exactly why I want you to keep the result, Doctor. I made sure it won't harm anyone, but I'd like you to take care of it.
I see. Put it in my cabinet. I'll give you the key. I'll make sure no one uses this medication by mistake.
I'll do that. Thank you for your help, Dr. Ackroyd.
Thank you for your trust on the matter, Dr. Reed.
You're welcome. Better not be lying, I'm telling you that much. But I also got the key to his room, which means that we can find out other shit about him, aka what this last hint is.
Thank you for
I
your...
think it's lost in it anyway.
I'm alright.
Good evening, Doctor.
Don't waste your time.
Your life in London. Is there anything? No. Nope. Somehow there's no
Mrs.
hints. Is there any hints for him? Don't think so, but just to make sure. Still haven't figured out what, why
I have to go now, sir.
I don't even know. Wait. Never mind, I thought that was a little note. Been lurking, man. I never got the chance to play this. Love the premium. Okay, thanks for the like, though. Powerful.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Did you know Dr. Ackroyd never reported your experimental research, despite the fact he doesn't agree with it?
Really? I didn't suspect he knew about my work. I must confess I am surprised.
Perhaps he thinks you should realize for yourself the danger of what you're doing.
See how condescending he can be? My God, he can be so irritating.
We're gonna play for like another 20-30 minutes.
Goodbye.
Huh. What was I gonna do? I don't even remember.
It's locked, all right.
Oh yeah, upstairs in that one room.
Not now.
I'm trying to think, where did the key go to?
It's locked.
I don't know if it goes into their rooms. I mean, I guess, but I thought maybe, just maybe it'd be in a different room, but unfortunately not.
It's locked.
Nothing to read? What? Really expected most of the shit to be able to read. Okay, nose patient. Fatigue. Major sores in the throat, mouth, and tongue, but no sign of flu. Refuses to speak. Claims that it's too painful. Releasing the throat mucus from the brain before an addition could be made concerning its release. Speak to him later.
It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked. Now that Dr. Ackroyd has been warned, he should make good use of this formula.
Okay, well, shit. Let's head downstairs. Craft the treatment for fatigue. We'll have to do that in a minute here. Okay, so we have to go upstairs in order to do that, but, we need to speak to this guy. I almost forgot. Or maybe his mom. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Wait.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
I have to go now, sir.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Did he try?
Good evening, Doctor.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything
Oh, my neck.
life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Well, I mean, he isn't dying, so what do you expect? Like, what? It's no different than somebody having a
Goodbye,
broken
Mrs.
arm and
Gossip.
then like 800 people in the fucking hospital and that one fucking person. And those 800 people are dying. Like, of course they're gonna get help first. Sorry to tell you. Like, what? Doctors can only do so fucking much, dude. Like, what? You just have a broken arm, that's it.
I know that.
You know, or like, whatever. I'll speak to the other doctor in a minute here. I want to speak to this guy.
Good evening, Doctor.
Life undid, nothing. Hint required, still no.
Goodbye, Dr. T.
Oh wait, but that's... I totally forgot again. I can't. I keep doing that. It's not him. Wait.
I'm quite busy right now, Doctor.
Nothing about it. Nothing about it, okay.
Thank you for your...
We gotta craft the treatment for fatigue. Huh. I'm glad I unlocked this door. The thing is, wait. What's in here?
It's
Oh, it's
locked,
locked.
all right.
If we could
It's
unlock it,
locked.
it'd be amazing. We can't, unfortunately.
The flower's dying.
It needs water.
It needs
How do you...
water.
Is there a way to make water? Like... Take... It's anemia. Use the cure seriously during the unlock. Bronchitis. Cold. Okay. Okay, no upgrades? Okay. Wait, one more thing. The last one. I wonder, is there... Never mind. Never mind. Oh, it's downstairs. That's why there's an arrow underneath it. Oh, shit. See. Wait. Who's that?
I cannot enter.
Someone's in that room. They're alive, they're moving their head. That's all we've seen. That's about it. Okay. Let's bring it to Dorothy then. Hey, what was that?
But in the circumstances,
Oh, that was him.
I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Finally,
Yes, nurse.
you've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Okay. Diseases decrease the blood quality of the citizen. Use the correct medicine to heal them. Speak to the patient in the room behind Dorothy to check his medical status. A rat?
But in the
Are we the rat?
circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Are gonna be the rat?
Good evening, Doc.
Nothing hints.
Goodbye, Miss. Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
To check the medical status, press R1.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Treatment fatigue. Okay.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reed, but you've done enough.
Okay. That's it.
I have to go.
I'll talk to Edgar Swansea in a minute.
Good evening, Doctor.
For some questions, since we healed him, now
Goodbye.
never mind, or gave, you know, the fatigue thing. Remember, Citizen Blood will provide you a massive XP boost. Look for citizens of the Mesmer level of the Lord, choose wisely. I'm not killing anybody. That's what you think. That's what you think,
Good evening,
game.
Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Doc.
Is there anything else?
I'm all right.
Nothing.
Goodbye for now.
Okay. Why can't I speak to these guys? Weird. I get a feeling the rat in the hospital, obviously it's not me, but it's the
It's
other
locked.
person. Still want to see what's in that area.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
I think it's the... Well, there's two things,
Fascinating,
actually.
is it not?
I think.
In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
I don't know about that.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors.
Yes.
Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Do you need some?
I have
I
questions.
have just a...
Then ask her.
But your other...
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in
But I
England
am a vampire.
as impartial
Why would you
scientific
need to do
observers.
that? Probably because... Never mind.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Don't you fear me?
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
At the hospital.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand?
Where do we stand today?
But to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
And then you guys are daily forgetting the other person? Hint locked.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
Will the sun destroy me?
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Oh. Must I kill?
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the
Yeah,
sole sustenance that can sustain your
technically there's
immortal
only
frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
He just eats rats.
The man we
even think
pursued
that's
and
count,
slew
though.
in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Where do scouts come from?
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
I mean, they
Just
are
for
known.
clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A Skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
We'll see each other.
Oh, we found a hint about him. Is there anything else in this room that we're missing? Doesn't look like it. Now we can leave this area. Speak there.
Good.
Check
Do you
out.
require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood.
About Blackman.
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games. My secrets are beyond their comprehension, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, okay.
I'll leave.
Speak to the guy about it, because he actually might know.
Good evening.
Rumors of shady business.
Have you heard rumors of underhand dealings in the hospital?
If you want to know what's going on here, you better talk to Miss Jones. She knows everything. Especially what she shouldn't.
Of course.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Isn't there something I can actually do?
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Nothing about it. Okay.
Goodbye.
I still can't
cannot
enter this
enter.
door.
Dr. Reed,
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since I've come back to England.
everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
Okay, about the patients.
What can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
Back. Personal questions. You worked here for how long?
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
Are you in charge?
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
Okay. What about the medical?
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reed, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do what we can.
That's why it's so hard to get to
How
the
is the
west.
duty roster organized?
Right now, anyway.
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
I'll see you later.
Okay. To these doctors.
Good evening,
And good evening.
Have you heard any talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
We're just talking about Miss Jones, I don't even know.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd
I mean, if it's a
really
way to
says
save
is
him, why
that
don't
you
you just
lack
use
the
it anyway?
skill to perform this
Like-
operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
I really don't.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed.
I don't know, man.
Goodbye, Doctor.
I don't know.
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening, Doc.
Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No, nothing.
Everyone's gonna say no, nothing.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right.
Okay.
Goodbye for now.
Reads me like a book. I'm never good.
Speak to this guy again.
Good evening, Miss.
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, left him running. No.
Have you heard rumors about blackmail in this hospital?
No.
Of course you haven't. No hints.
I have to...
Don't waste
Good
your
evening.
time with me.
Have you heard rumors of blackmail going on in this hospital?
Dr.
expected
Reed,
them.
Are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
Goodbye, Miss.
There's so many fucking personal, like, hidden shit that we will not find out as of yet. Which is very annoying. Where's that other doctor?
I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
Zion. It's that guy. But I want to speak to her.
Good evening.
Nothing about it. Never mind. I lied.
Goodbye.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Have you heard about any blackmail going on in this hospital?
Blackmail? Nonsense.
Nothing.
Thank you.
Miss Jones is the only person that we might get something out of.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that cabin in front.
Good evening, Nurse Brennan.
Good evening.
Never mind.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Why can't we ask her about that? I know she's a